Psychologist reveals a quieter, more thoughtful truth about why people sometimes step away from longtime friends, contrary to the assumption that such decisions stem from sudden anger, betrayal, or heartlessness. Cutting off old connections is rarely impulsive. More often, it unfolds gradually through months or even years of internal reflection, emotional tallying, and a growing awareness that the relationship no longer aligns with the person one has become. At the heart of this process lies a fundamental shift in identity. Human beings are not static. We evolve constantly through new experiences, challenges, successes, and self-discovery. Psychologists describe this as identity development, where core values, personal boundaries, priorities, and self-perception change over time. Friendships forged in earlier chapters of life, perhaps during high school struggles, young adulthood confusion, or periods of survival often mirror those past versions of ourselves. They carry echoes of old insecurities, shared limitations, or roles we once played to fit in. When someone's sense of self expands significantly faster than their social circle, staying tethered to those early dynamics can feel like being gently but persistently pulled backward. The mind, seeking internal coherence and stability, begins to register the mismatch. Maintaining the friendship starts to require suppressing parts of who they now are. In response, distance emerges, not as rejection of shared history, but as a protective act, a way to safeguard the integrity of the new identity they've worked hard to build. Another powerful factor is the slow buildup of emotional labor imbalance. Relationships thrive on reciprocity, but over years, that balance can erode quietly. One person might consistently offer listening ears, emotional support, advice, patience during crises, or adaptations to the other's needs, while the other remains largely unchanged, rarely reciprocating at the same depth or frequency. Psychologists note that this isn't usually triggered by a single dramatic event. Instead, it's the cumulative weight of small, repeated efforts that go unreturned. The brain begins to reframe the relationship. What once felt like genuine connection now registers as draining expenditure. The giver experiences mounting fatigue, resentment, or simply emptiness after interactions. Eventually, the cost outweighs the reward. Pulling away brings an unexpected sense of relief, like setting down a heavy load carried far too long. This isn't selfishness, it's self-preservation after prolonged imbalance. A telling precursor to these quiet endings is the withdrawal of explanation. People stop defending their choices, stop correcting misinterpretations, stop trying to be truly seen or understood. This isn't apathy or arrogance, it's a form of emotional conservation. When repeated attempts at communication lead only to misunderstanding, invalidation, or defensiveness, the psyche learns to protect its energy. Psychologists link this to emotional disengagement, a protective mechanism where someone internally decides that further investment won't yield growth or mutual insight. The silence isn't cold. It's the final stage, after internal communication has already failed. By the time external contact fades, the decision has often been processed privately for a long time. Many old friendships also come with assigned roles that become confining over time. In group dynamics or long-standing pairs, people get locked into fixed identities. The comic relief, the reliable fixer, the reckless adventurer, the quiet supporter, the one who always needs help. These roles once served a purpose perhaps, providing safety, belonging, or balance, but as personal growth occurs, they can start to feel like cages. When someone outgrows their assigned part, attempts to show new dimensions of themselves may meet resistance. Subtle mockery, nostalgia for how things used to be, or outright discomfort from others who prefer the familiar version. The refusal to remain boxed in isn't about disliking the friends themselves. It's about rejecting confinement to an outdated self. Letting go becomes an assertion of authenticity, a choice to honor a current reality over past expectations. Perhaps one of the most mature realizations is accepting that not every ending requires a grand conversation or mutual understanding. Emotionally developed individuals come to see that some people simply won't want to grasp the reasons for change, no matter how patiently or clearly explained. Forcing dialogue in those cases can lead to more hurt, defensiveness, or prolonged entanglement. Psychology highlights that true maturity often involves embracing silent closure, setting a boundary through distance rather than drama. This approach preserves dignity for both sides, and acknowledges that closure is sometimes an internal process, not a shared negotiation. Far from signaling coldness, arrogance, or these decisions often reflect a deeper commitment to personal coherence. The healthiest minds recognize when holding on to a connection costs more in energy, authenticity, peace than releasing it. Not every bond is designed to endure forever. Some friendships arrive precisely to shape us during specific seasons, teaching resilience, offering laughter through hardship, mirroring our growth so we can see it more clearly. Once their purpose is fulfilled, they naturally release us, like a chrysalis no longer needed after the butterfly emerges. In the end, outgrowing a friendship doesn't erase its value or the gratitude owed for what it once provided. It simply honors the truth that human development is uneven, and alignment isn't guaranteed indefinitely. Those who choose distance after careful reflection are often exercising one of the quietest forms of self-respect, prioritizing inner peace over external obligation. Have you ever felt that gentle but undeniable shift, that moment when you realized a longtime friend no longer fit the life you were building? What helped you navigate the quiet decision to let go?